Hello, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's people that will tight their clothes like. Okay, good afternoon, guys. Hello, good afternoon. Please let me know if you can hear me, okay? I would really love that. I want to know if you can hear me, if you can see me, okay? So let's get started straight into our tutorial for today. I'll get my fab. Hello, good afternoon. Please, can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. Today's tutorial, it looks simple, but it is a little bit. Thank you, Annie's Corner. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. Annie's Corner, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. Annie's Corner, I think you have a YouTube channel. Am I right? I think I've seen a YouTube channel with that name. Annie's Corner. I really can't remember. I've seen a YouTube channel that sounds like that. If I'm right on that, let me know. Okay, so we're going to start now. So I'm just trying to adjust my camera. So let's draft the straight sleeve first, and then we'll cut out the what do you call it? The flip part of the flip part of our sleeve. Okay. So when you want to draft a straight basic sleeve, so here is how you are going to do it. So the first thing you are going to do, you're going to use your round armhole, okay? So for the round armhole, you're going to measure. For instance, if my round armhole is 9, I will leave my armhole at 10 because of allowance 10 or 12, okay? So what I have here, I have about 10 inches here, which is okay. So from that 10 inches, I'm going to come to this part. So let the camera be watching my tail, not my face. So I'll come down here. That's so I want to create a sleeve cap. So that's what I want to do. So from that edge, I'm going to come down by 4 inches. So once I measure 4 inches, I'll mark it that way. You can do this in two ways. You can, but this is okay. So if you have a curve like this, here's what you're going to do. You're just going to place the curve like this, okay? Can you see the way I placed it? And then you're going to give this a beautiful round curve like this, okay? You're going to give it like this. Some people say like so. Every time I used to say that, I'm still looking for the person that will come and help me out with that grammar. So when you mark here, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to mark your bicep area. So most times our bicep, which is this part, which some people call Christian mother, is usually 8, okay? Sorry, usually between 5, 6, 8. So let's double check. Can you see? Can you see it? You see it? 5, 6. It's usually that part, 5, 6, 7. So it depends. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come to this part. So I'll use 7 or 6.5. So that's going to be the bicep. That's this part that goes in. I will mark it like this. And then the next part I'm going to mark is my wrist. Sorry, my elbow. So for the elbow, I'm going to use 11 inches for elbow. And then that part of my sleeve, I'll come down below my elbow. That's where the flare part is going to be. So that part, I'm going to use 14 inches for that. Okay? So I'll just mark all of these lines on my pattern paper. So you can see, so I'll mark the 14 inches. So after marking 14 inches, all of these lines, I'm just going to mark them. Let me just mark them like this, okay? So the next thing I want to mark now, I want to mark the round parts. That's how tight they are. That's this bicep area. So for this bicep area, for this, I'm going to use 14 inches, which is divide by 2, which is 7. I'll add 1 inch for allowance. So from this point, I'm just going to mark this like this, okay? And then before I continue, I'm going to check my round parts if it is correct, if it is okay. So I have 11 inches. Can you see? Which is so good for me. And then the next part I'm going to check is this elbow area. That's this line. So for that elbow area, I am using 12 inches, which is divided by 2, which is 6 inches. So I'll mark it that way. So I'm just going to continue my dotted lines, and then this part where I'm going to be joining, so I'm going to check it. So that one is going to be like 10 inches, I know. So I'm going to come to this part which is 5. I'll mark it. I'll add allowance. I notice I did not add allowance to this one. So I'll add the allowance. So I'm going to mark that line. I'm going to connect the line. Okay, let me use dotted lines first. It usually helps, okay? And then after that, I'm just going to connect it like this. And then so we have our sleeve. We have the straight part of our sleeve. So now we're going to cut that, okay? So if you want it to be longer, you can extend it, depends. So use the same process like that, and then you're going to cut this, and then you are going to cut this out. So today's tutorial is not a very long tutorial, you guys can see. We'll soon be done, okay? So I'll cut this out. So we are done with the straight part of our tutorial of the part of our sleeve. So the next part we want to cut out now is the flap part. And in order for us to cut out the flap part, it is a simple process. So I'm going to just mark it like this. I'm just going to fold my fabric or my pattern paper into 4. So it depends on how full I want this to be, okay? If I want it to be very full, I can use this one. I'm doing 360 degrees to flip. If I want it to be very, I can use 720, okay? But I'm just going to go with 350, 360, sorry. Now one, I really 350, 360 degrees flip. What I'm going to do, I'm going to measure this part, because the truth of the matter is I don't want to pleat it, okay? Any case corner, you're laughing. So I'm just going to fold this part like 5.5, almost 5.5 inches here. So that's what I'm going to use to cut my sleeve. So that 5.5 inches, I'm going to divide that into 2 like this, okay? So you can see. So I'm going to place it like this on my pattern cover. I don't want to do any mathematics, any plenty mathematics. So this is just like a simple thing that I'm going to do. I'll mark it like this. I'll measure it like this into 2. It's already folded. My fabric is already folded into 2. So I'll divide that into 2. And meanwhile, my pattern paper is folded into 4. And then I'm going to come and place it here like this. So for this, I have to be very careful. Most times, I normally cut below the line. That's like, it is better for me to cut it less, okay? And then I'm going to now take off the sleeve that I want. So for this, I have about 10 inches. So I'm just going to go with that 10 inches. I noticed that my pattern paper is going to get truncated at a point, but I'm not going to mind. Just see what I am doing. Can you see that I'm creating the flare? So this is another method, another way of creating flare. For those of you that flare calculation is like further mass. So this is another way of you guys doing that. So you can see it is a simple process. I already marked it. You, those of you that are just joining, you people should please like this video, please. Because even if this one has simple tutorial, I'll be waiting on the fine, but at least it will help somebody. So that's how me I do my tutorials. So no matter how it is, I will do it because I know it will be helpful to somebody. Because when I was learning how to do this work, there are some things that like it were looking like misery to me. So but if they did not teach me, I would not know. So I'm going to cut this part. I'm just going to cut this open. If you notice, I'm cutting it on top. Why? Because I don't want it to be too big. So you can see I'm going to leave it like this. So you see, can you see how big this is looking already? Can you see my sleeve? So now I'm going to transfer all of this to my fabric. Okay. So I'm be using this silk fabric. I am not going to add a lining to it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold this. I want to measure, I want to mark, I want to cut out the straight part first. I'm going to take it like this, and I'm going to place it like this. And then I'm going to cut. So can you see where I'm cutting it? So I'll place it properly. This particular fabric is a fabric that you have to be careful when you're working with it. As a beginner, I will not even advise you to work with this kind of fabric. That's just the truth. I wouldn't advise you to work with it. So I'd cut this one out. So the next thing I am going to cut out is the flare part of my fabric. Okay. So I'm just going to push that inside, and then I am going to fold my fabric. Remember, we folded it into four then. Okay. So I'm going to take my fabric like this, and I will fold it. I'm trying as much as I can. I don't want to waste my fabric. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So can you see the way I'm folding it? I'm folding the fabric now. I'm folding it into four. Okay. So if you want this sleeve to have solid structure that's like very big and everything. So can you see? You see the way I'm going to place it? So when I place it now, I'm now going to mark it nicely, because remember I told you that the paper was a little bit truncated, as it was not enough. So I'll mark it like this, and this part I'm going to cut this part. So what I normally do, I'm going to cut that part. I'll make it smaller. That's the top part. I'll make it smaller. It is better for it to be smaller, or else the only other option that you are going to be left with is that you are going to have to pleat that sleeve. If you cut it, as if that top part is too big. Okay, so you're going to have to pleat it, and you might not want that. If it is your own fabric, your own cloth, you can manage, but if it is a customer, that one is problem. So I'm just going to cut this like this. I'll cut it tiny first, and then I'm going to open it like this. I'm going to measure it. I'm just trying to be very, very super careful. Okay. So can you see? I have 6 inches. You see? You see what I was telling you guys? That is why you have to be very careful, or else if it is too big, the only solution is split. Can you see? You see it? I have that 6 inches, which is exactly what I want. You can see how this is going to look. Can you see? You see how full it is looking already. So that is how you actually cut that. So now we're going to go and stitch this now. So like I said, if you miss it, the only solution, you are going to have to plait it. And pleating will not give you that, it will not give that style. That's the exact style that you want. So if you want this sleeve to have structures. You notice that the picture that I showed you was done with an Ankara fabric, okay? The picture was done with an Ankara fabric, and it was done with an Ankara fabric, and they line it, that's they pad it properly to give that thick structure. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy over here, and we are going to stitch it. So you are going to stitch it to that 6 inches thereabouts. So you're going to take like this, you're going to measure it. That's why it's good to have plenty tape, because see the other one there, for me to stand up to go and carry it, to mark, like I'm going to measure like this, and then I'm going to mark it. Okay, so you have to be careful. You check it very well, make sure, or else. And then you're going to use your measurements on the straight part of your sleeve, and then you join it with that point. You get. Thank you, those of you that like the video. God bless you all. So I'm going to join it now. When you're working with this kind of fabric, you have to be very careful. So I'm going to double check my measurements as I continue, because I don't want, it to have any problem or any issue. So I'm going to trim. I wanted to trim it too, but there's a probability now that if I trim it, it will become bigger. So I have to be very careful. So after this, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it out. Those of you that are just joining, thank you so much. And Kiss Corner, thank you. Thank you. So you can see, this is the straight part of our sleeve. So let me show you. For those of you that don't know how to do a straight sleeve, can you see? You see, this is a straight pencil sleeve. Can you see how beautiful it is already? Can you see? So this is a straight pencil sleeve. Do you understand? So if in case you don't know how to do a straight sleeve before, so this is how you actually do a straight sleeve. And way, you're welcome. Thank you so much. So you're welcome. So you can see it. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to fix our flay on it. And here is where the Hausa people say the magana. This is where it is. So now I'm going to take this. So just watch. So if you notice, my flay does not have any cuts. It is round, like 360 round. So I'm going to take this. The best way for you to do this is for you to pin each round. You understand? Pin it round. And most times what I normally do, I will start pinning from this part. That's the part that does where I had not stitched my sleeve. So that's where I will actually start joining it from. So I want to pin it round first to make sure that it will enter. Do you understand? That it will not have any, it will not be too big, one will not be bigger than another. So it's better for us to do it that way. So with that, you will know what you are doing. But if it is too big or if it is too small, this is the time when you are going to correct it, okay? So you can see, so I pinned my own. I noticed that everything looks good and okay, so you can see. So now I'm going to start stitching. I'm going to start stitching it. So I'm just, because of the my fabric is very free, so I'm trying to place it nicely. So let me take out that particular pin. So I'm going to place it like this, and I'm going to start sewing it down. So as you are sewing, you'll be using your hand, you'll be turning it, you understand? So be turning it as you're sewing it. In case the the flay is too big, at this point the only solution that you are going to have is either you open up the, what do you call it, the straight one, you open up that part where you stitched it together, or you give your flay some tiny pleats. You understand? You can give it tiny pleats. That's still okay. That's still okay. Just tiny, small, small pleats, small, small invisible pleats, just to hold everything down. So I'm trying to stitch at this point. For those of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. We're almost done. So I try as much as I can to bring simple and easy tutorials for you people. Like I said, most people that are beginners, sometimes they just grow like they don't even understand what you're doing. So if I keep bringing advanced tutorial, that means beginners, my friend, my channel will not be that beginners friendly. So I really want, especially beginners, I really want to help beginners. That's just the truth. So for those of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. So we are almost done. We are almost done at this point now. So I'm just teaching the last part of my sleeve. So I'm done. So I'm going to open it this up and then show it to you guys, okay? So you see how the inside is. So like I said, if you want to line it, you line it, sew everything and turn it, okay? Can you see? So that's everything. I am done. I'm coming, just a minute. Who is there? Okay. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to show you guys the final look. Let's see. Let's take a look at this guy, what we did. Can you guys see how beautiful she looks? Isn't this lovely? Isn't this beautiful? Let's see. So let me straighten this my sleeve so that we can. Oh my, oh my. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see this? Can you see how beautiful this looks? Can you see this? It looks so pretty, right? Can you see? So you see what I was telling people, you see there's one small tiny pleat there. So this is how my sleeve looks. It looks so pretty. So thank you so much. For those of you that don't know how to actually sew this sleeve, you can see. So this is how you actually about it. So thank you so much, all of you that tuned into our tutorial today. I just want to say thank you guys for joining. So tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow I will not be coming up, both afternoon, both evening. I will not be online. I will not come up. So till Saturday evening, that's when I'm going to see you people again. So thank you so much. Yes, it's not bad. It's beautiful. It's really fine. I love it. See it. So this one is because this one is a chiffon that was used, so that is why it is looking soft. If you want it to be very structured, you use an Ankara, line it. You understand? Line this part, so it's going to stand and it's going to be big. Just make sure you use the same process to go about it. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on Saturday. God bless you all. Bye. Bye bye. So my glasses, like I told you guys, my glasses got broken. I've not been able to go, and I've not had time. I've been so busy. Like I've not had time to go and get a new frame. So that's it. So that is why people saw me wearing that other pink one. That pink one is, it has faded. When I say fade, I don't even like the thing no catch again. Thank you. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye. What about